nze mu bwongo. Ate the more we
tulinga abatalina na Ministry of Ethics and Integrity.
And the more we let this happen, olaba obuzibu obuliwo bamaama bwe tubeegayirira okuvaayo ne mutaasa baana bammwe ne mwogera tuba tutegeeza nti taasa obulamu bw'omwana wange omulenzi aligenda n'atomera muwalaawo. Mutabani wange ayinza okutomera omuwalaawo gwe baasobyako nga tetukimanyi. Naye ng'omuwalaawo yalwala mu mutwe ali damage takyalina laavu. Nosanga ng'omwana wange bamutuusizaako obuzibu. Bano be bawala boolaba akwasa omusajja musazeeko ekintu kye n'akisalako. Ne weebuza ekintu kya munno wabadde okikuza ati lwaki osazeeko ekintu kya munno wakiri mugoba agenda akikozesa awala n'agwamba nedda mbadde nyina omusalako. Omanyi lwaki akusala? Okukomya empisa zo z'okola. That is what we're talking about. That's why we have women n'ogamba banange oyo omukazi omutima yagujjawa. That's why we have women n'ogamba banange oyo omukazi omutima yagujjawa. That's why we have women n'ogamba banange oyo omukazi omutima yagujjawa.
My phone is running down. Could you kindly allow me to say something before it
All right. Yes, please. You can. You want to submit or you want to come back later?
Maybe Aisha should mute herself because she's creating like echoes.
Aisha, you want to
go
submit?
ahead?
Yeah. Oh, Dr. Joyce or Aisha?
It's me that one. Yeah, it's me that wanted to submit because my phone battery is going down.
Oh, yes, please.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much for creating such a platform that discusses points. Actually, I've been on other platforms. People just abuse each other, shout in the background, and it's quite vulgar, and so they're not professional. I would really like to appreciate you so much for such a platform. Now, going back to the point of the girl that has been that is alleged that she has been sexually molested, I would think that when something happens across the country, people are very quick to judge. And definitely sometimes I try to understand them because surely judgment is easy. Why do people judge very quickly when something happens? It's easy. It doesn't take brain power. When you judge somebody very quickly, you do not need to analyze any information. People like easy things. Now, however, in the world of intellectuals, we don't quickly run to judge others because we know we first have to get information that's quite reliable. We need to organize this information, we need to analyze the information, interpret it, and probably arrive at the facts with evidence. This is why when somebody gets arrested and someone could have committed a crime, they have killed, and evidence is clear, but they take them through the procedure because it takes brain power to give this person a fair hearing. It's like that by the time we're making a final judgment, we're very sure that it's beyond reasonable doubt this person's wrong or right. So this is why we do take our time to make sure that we don't judge very quickly. With this case, I am not judging at all. We are closely following all evidence from both sides, and probably the competent courts of law will do the responsibilities and come up with the right judgment so we are able to rely on facts. Now, answering, there is a member that has submitted right here, and then she said, as women, we all need to come together and speak with one voice. Well, that is an ideal situation. It's surely ideal, but it can be next to impossible to bring all people to think the same because people are quite different, have different personality traits, they have different backgrounds, upbringings, intellectual capacities. So it can be quite very difficult to make all people think the same and that we speak with one voice. However, what I appreciate is that it begins with you and me. It takes you and me to take one step forward. Now, my biggest concern is that we're not taking any step. Take, for example, as women who have been empowered, I think we should actually look at having to come together, probably establish spaces where these children can feel safe, probably come up and mobilize ourselves and have probably advocates where if such a case happens, we quickly can provide such a vulnerable case with a voice, with legal representation, so they're able to be represented and to voice up their concerns. Now, issues to do with having to advise policymakers by conducting research and publishing and establishing problems, so policymakers are able to, based on our findings, to begin revising the laws. Look at issues to do with whistleblowers. There are so many vulnerable girls out there that are undergoing such situations that are surely being messed up with, but no one is coming up to speak because of the kind of situation or the kind of environment these children are brought up in. Look at our African environment, which is where families determine almost everything into someone's life. Such spaces will always cover up such stories and do not appear anywhere. But there are girls who are surely undergoing a lot of mistreatment, sexual molestation, and all the rest. But now, what about people? We cannot have people come up to even report such cases because they fear being targeted. So I think we also have to advise policymakers through publishing books and simply tell them that there be laws that will always encourage people to speak up, and also provide the laws that also protect the whistleblowers, such that someone does not fear about the consequences of their reporting. So basically, that is my submission. And finally, the issue of a girl child empowerment. As far as we are talking about quite a number of things, but the cornerstone is about empowering a girl child. There are quite a number of things that girls can be assertive of once they have been empowered in all perspectives, especially academically. The women empowerment in terms of financial empowerment. There are things that you can be able to do for yourself so you don't present yourself to be vulnerable in front of some men. I've seen girls that have been sexually molested because they lack finances. Probably they're looking for someone to support them financially, and they end up being messed up with. So I think when a girl child gets empowered both academically and financially, they will give them in a better space to stand and speak for their rights and probably be assertive on certain issues that would potentially make them victims. That's my submission.
Thank you, Dr. Joyce. Thank you so much for your submission. So yesterday, I was trying to share a story. During the pandemic, there was a case that I received as Judith Heart Foundation, and I took it on. When I took on the case, we went until the court, and we started appearing in court. And what happened? Different organizations started getting in touch with the family, and I think our neighbors started bringing different organizations because they had seen this story on television. So we started now trying to help the girl. Nga tuli bantu banji. I would go to court, appear in court, then drop her home, and of course she was pregnant, 14 and pregnant. She had been sexually molested. And before I knew it, an organization had come to the family and told them they were going to take this girl and they were going to take care of her until she gave birth. So I was like, oh, great. At least the milimo jange jikendede nembasanyukirako. Naye bwe twali tugenda mu court, these people never appeared. They just always sent messages and made the calls. So when I said that I'm done, it's okay, let her at least go to the organization. Since bagenda muwa Sula, a few months later, I was called and told that, hey, organization eri eyalina okuyamba omwana tebamuyamba, instead bali baagala simanyi mukola ki. Instead bali baagala using her. So what Dr. Joyce, I'm sharing this so that you can help me understand, what do these girls do when something like that happens? Because for me, I don't have a facility where I can bring in these girls and take care of them, but my dream is to create a rehabilitation center where we have different skills, because I realize that we have so many girls on the streets and we don't even know why they are on the streets. I remember at some point I was in the ghetto. I was living in the ghetto. I was living on the streets. I was running up and down on the streets. And this was because of what had happened to me that led to me running away from home. So every night and day, I think about these girls that I see on the streets, and that's what has pushed me to dreaming and trying to look for funding that will help me build something like that for the girls. Like we said, where do they run to? So, but now that I don't have such a place ready for them, then other organizations are going to be taking them. But how can we trust these organizations? Waliwo organizations zitwala abaana nosanga nga ziri bakozesa bintu birala, oba omuntu najja organization nejja ng'egamba tugenda kuyamba omwana naye ate no ending up ng'osanga nga balina ebirala nabo bye beeyagaliza kukozesa kwogwo omusango oguliwo. So how do we handle this now?
Thank you so much. Let me just answer your question briefly. As I've said earlier, that most of these things happen to our girls successfully because they're living the space of vulnerability, the space of marginalization, sometimes ignorance and voicelessness. So the first thing is, you've said you have a foundation that you're bringing up, you're potentially building, and I suppose it begins small and it grows big. As of now, well, there are established organizations that can be trusted. You don't have to just trust any organization. You've got to read about that organization, its viability, how it has handled previous cases of similar students, its success stories, and that can give us a way forward. However, going forward, we also have a responsibility to add our contribution to humanity and humanity well-being. And if that's not a girl child, then who else? Because we are women ourselves. We've gone through these experiences, and therefore we can do something to help a girl child. So my submission is, yes, you are here and you are just a blessing that you have something actually tangible. Now, can we grow that? Remember, through such platforms, we are large networks, we are empowered, we are highly connected, we are all over the place. Well, that could not everyone will be supporting you, but a few that can understand you, they can understand where you're coming from, can always join you, and you grow that network, and that thing becomes very beneficial to a girl child, and that will be very great to be adding on the growing need to have our girl child protected. So why not? Here is the beginning. You get one, you expand the network, that creativity keeps on growing. Even those big organizations that are supporting girl children started small, but because they were resilient, they knew how to network, they knew how to come together with other groups, and right now they're big and we're admiring them. They're all over the international organizations. So why not? We're looking at 10, 20 years to come. And when we're beginning something or a foundation, we're not only looking at us, but even the time when we're not there, So I think that alone, I would think you would begin networking right away, like on a very daily basis. If you can establish objectives of the foundation and say, on a very daily basis, even if I got just one single network, that means a lot to the foundation. And therefore, that will be able to help our girls as they get to face such situations.
Thank you so much, Dr. Joy. So I'll go ahead and officially ask you to join my organization, Dr. Joyce, if you don't mind. We would use one more hand on our organization.
Yeah, you'll inbox me, we will talk. Thank you.
Thank you. So we have Aisha that wanted to submit something again. And then we were also joined by, I think, Maria? Yes.
What I wanted to submit is that I think we need legal representatives in the country that handle cases that are sensitive. Not everyone to jump onto the case, like I've been seeing on social media. Like, imagine where you're that girl, where are you going to get the courage and confidence to come out and speak and be like, yes, it happened, when the whole world is against you? When this is saying that your uncles are against you, your aunties are against you. So the only people who know what really happened is the girl and her dad. And if she comes out and she says, yes, he did it, and the whole world says he didn't do it, it's very easy for her to feel down and be like, Ned that Charlie Wechito, because people have threatened her and all that. Me being at campus, Judith, I've seen a lot of girls taking poison, others resorting into drugs because of depression and the cases of rape. And each and every day is in Songaze Yongera, because the few people who come out to talk don't get justice. So I think we just need legal representatives who only attend to such cases when the whole country knows that in case I go through such a thing, I have to approach so and so. Not to bring it out to the media, because it's really depressing and traumatizing. That's all.
Yes, please, Rosa, you can.
Yes, so first of all, I would like to piggyback on what Doctor has said, and also in regards to Judith's points about foundations. For one to understand the way forward, you must understand the child welfare legal system. Actually, in a normal functioning legal system, the foundation has no business providing any care to children without cooperation of the child welfare offices and systems. So the first responsible body, there should be a child welfare body that works in cooperation with, for example, the Judith Heart Foundation. If Judith Heart Foundation has like shelters and all, and we have such a case like Nisha's, the child welfare system contacts you and they're like, there's this case, it's ongoing, this child is in danger, and we feel the only way we can follow this up is by first taking this child into custody. Judith Foundation, do you have the capacity to take up this child, rehabilitate her in the meantime until this is solved? And that's why I say, unfortunately, it goes back to the system, because you can even incriminate yourself as a foundation if you take up a minor and the family goes against you in the court, because even as a child welfare system, in the legal system, when you're taking a child into custody, you let the parents know. Should the parents contest that, then you have to go to the children's court. And of course, if there's viable reasons from the child welfare system to say this child has to be taken, for example, into the shelter, in the Judith Heard Foundation shelter, then the parents have nothing to do. But by law, the parents have a right to say, no, our child stay with us. So that's why it's difficult for foundations like Judith is to say, we all want to help, but you just can't do it because, again, you'd be going against the law and requires lots of resources. And seeing our country, Uganda, they failed to do their work, they failed to do their due diligence. But if you came up, you as Judith, and said, we're here for the girl child, we're taking up Nisha, we're making sure we're protecting her, she's not being interviewed, I can assure you 100%, you'll have some government body coming against you for doing good.